Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
We are back! The third annual Pub Sports Radio Cappers Contest is ready for registration. 5 picks each week against the spread, and we battle for cash.
All picks lock. Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top 10% gets paid out at the end of the season. Sign up right now at pubsportsradio.com.
Congratulations to last year's champions, Guillermo Zertucci and Sharpie, who were tied atop the leaderboard. But Jose, why don't we hear from our inaugural champion, Peter Loshak?
Yeah, last year, before the season started, Slaughter called me. He was like, could you not win it this year? And I was like, Jeff, anything. You don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? So I did that. He hasn't called me so far this year.
Okay.
If he does, I'm not going to win it. If he doesn't, all bets are off, pal.
Oh, I like it.
All bets are off if I don't get that call. You know what I mean?
Wow, Pete. Thanks for your generosity.
I can't wait! September 5th, Thursday night is game 1, but your picks have to be in by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We battle for infamy! We battle for the Cappers Contest Pub Sports Radio Championship. Upgrade your membership to Gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses.
Shout out to the gold members. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass here. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy. 19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is why here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian, Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down with the advantage.
Coin! Where?
Oh no! And Fanatical Jim. Fanatical.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, play the juice, let loose.
Hi, and welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today is Tuesday, September 10th. We do this every Tuesday, of course, during football season. Without Jimmy the Bag, because he's so busy, he's doing his other stuff. But we do, of course, always have Jose Bouquett, the comment section. Today we're going to do 2 more college football games with Dabby Cab, including Texas A&M, Florida. Florida, of course, has a quarterback who not clear who's going to be starting for them. If if it's the five-star guy recruit, Lagway, I think Florida as a home dog might be a great bet. We'll see what Dabby Kaz has to say about that. And everyone in the comments section, we got some interesting stuff in MLB. Of course, I think there's two, maybe more, two pitchers coming off of non-complete game no-hitters. So we'll see what happens there. We got, once again, the Mets with Peterson starting with a suspiciously low line. Not sure what's up there. We'll talk about that with the comments section. Think it's going to be a good show. Yeah. Jose Bouquett, you there? You there, pal?
Howdy, Pete.
Oh, yeah. How's it going? Is my audio and everything in the video and everything in the camera's okay?
Yeah, you look great. You look
All right,
great.
thanks, Jose
I like
Bouquet.
your
Yeah, it's wow, what a week one in NFL though, huh? You know what I'm saying? I am not among the half of us who was eliminated with Survivor when the Bengals lost. No, I did not. I know everyone. I did take the Bengals when they lost in week one, like a couple years ago. There have been a bunch of embarrassing week one eliminations for me for Survivor, but the important thing in life is, do you learn? I, in general, am a bad learner. But on this, I learned what to do and what not to do in week one of Survivor. No, I did bet the Pats team total under. No way was I going to take the Bengals week one in Survivor. And look at me now, baby.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I did the same thing. Took the Patriots team total under. That 16 was hilarious. And then we cashed, or I guess we advanced. I took Seattle. Who'd you have? Seattle?
I had Seattle. That's right. You damn Skippy. Although everything was closer than it was, I had Detroit in a couple of my Survivors, and that one won, but that went to overtime. I thought, wow, Tennessee's a great bet. That was a terrible bet. I knew the Panthers weren't a good. Yeah, I knew the Panthers weren't a great bet, but I didn't expect them to get blown out. So week one, a lot of people with egg on their faces. I have some, but not as much as many. What a wacky week one, right, Jose?
Yeah, I'm excited. Have you already started looking at week 2, Pete?
Sure. And if I weren't in intense contests with all of you, I'd let you know exactly what I'm thinking. Now I'm not going to, and if anything, I'm going to tell you the opposite of what I'm thinking and trick you.
Yeah. Pete loves the Panthers again this week.
Mind game. You got to always play mind games in life. You know what I'm saying? Especially against your enemies, and especially against your friends. And then you also want to play the mind game of telling your enemies that they're your friend when they're not, and telling your friends that they're enemies when you're not. Multiple levels of mind games in order to succeed in this crazy existence we have here on this earth, Jose Bouquet.
A Beautiful Mind by Pete Loshak, everyone.
Jose Bouquet's like, great. You know, I want to get to talk to baseball. We are going to talk. I'll tell you right now what I'm thinking about the Florida game. I'm thinking, Florida not a great team this year, but I'm thinking Florida, especially if the backup quarterback starts getting all those points. I'll tell you right now, I think that's probably a great bet. I'm not terribly impressed with Texas A&M at the moment. And so Florida got burned kind of like with dynamic offense against Miami in the air. Doesn't look like that's what Texas A&M is going to be able to do. We'll see what Dabby Cat has to say, but I'm thinking Florida as a dog is a good bet.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. DJ Lagway is going to be a good quarterback. I was thinking over just because I think he's going to score points.
Yeah, it's just you never exactly know what the game plan will be when. But yeah, the total's tough. But I'm thinking that that Florida is probably a good bet. But of course, I won't actually bet it until I hear what Dabby Cab and the comment section have to say. Shout out to everyone in the comment. Oh, Nasty Nate. Pat says, what was hilarious was my Pat's money line. He's kidding. Did Nasty Nate bet the Pats money line? No way, right?
Of course he did. Yeah. Yeah.
But he bet both of them? He bet the Pats money line and the Bengals money line, or what did he do? He
No,
bet only the Pats money line.
He took Pat's money line, yeah.
Wow. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. Can't say I'm surprised. Great to hear. Let's see. Kent Davies with some stuff here. Mally Mal, newsflash, Jets still suck, people. I was on the Jets. Not as confidently as the Titans, but I was on them. I lost on that one. Jeez.
Yeah, I was on both of them.
I did well with the totals though. I think I was like 12-4 week one totals and like 6-8 on sides, 6-8-1, something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about the over in the next Packers game. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Wow,
Pete,
I'm
before
sorry.
we start, Pete, can you do me a favor and give your camera a wipe?
Sure. No problem. Van Polo says, I was on Pat's money line as well. Everyone should know Cincinnati starts slow at the beginning of the year. And I can't remember. My memory is so bad, but there was one year where they were great and they also lost their opening game as a big favorite. And I think that was a year that I had them. I don't remember what year that was, but yeah.
Look at this. Oh, already so
Is
much
that better?
Pete. Yes.
All right, there. And Nasty Nate, yes, I'm plus 8.5. Can't say I'm surprised. You know, we joke around with each other. We bust each other's balls a little bit, me and Nasty Nate. We give each other a little shit here and there. But I respect the guy's capping. Not at all surprised to hear he was on. Again, I had the Pats team total under, which was lucky to cash. But what a crazy week one. Crazy fucking week one. Shout out to Van Polo. And Irish King says, holy F, Monday Night Football is too easy. Yeah, I mean, the Niners at home to start the year with time to prep is probably something you shouldn't bet against. I just thought, you got Rodgers, a nice defense. I was wrong. What can I tell you? I'm going to be better in week 2, though. Only 2 people were 5-0 in the contest, I think, right? Jose Bouquett?
Yep. Shout out to Preston. I forgot who the other one was, but they both get to split our weekly prize here for the first week. So shout out to you both.
Yeah, shout out to them. Really, really freaking impressive. Gerald Jones, play of the day, best bet Phillies first 5 -0.5. Yeah, that's an interesting one because the Phillies, of course, are Ranger Suarez is starting, and they're he's coming off the injury. He's good, but they're not letting him go deep. So I actually took Suarez. I agree with that. I took the Suarez under 17.5 outs prop at plus money, but I also took a bunch of Taj Bradley fades, and I agree that Philly first 3 or first 5 is probably a great bet there. So I agree with you on that one, Gerald Jones for sure. Haven't bet that one yet, but I have bet props that go with it. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet dog play of the day is San Diego. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's all about, I guess it's at least a good chunk about what we expect from Yu Darvish. Of course, his first start back on paper didn't go well. Supposedly his velocity and his stuff were fine. So I guess that primes him for a bounce back here. Seattle's got like a kind of a dangerous young lineup. So I'm not sure what to make of that one. Darvish's earned run prop was suspiciously low in light of how the first start went. Just 1.5 and only 3. And his hits prop was 3.5, which is really weird. So I guess the market expected a good start from Darvish and Ron Crawford, at least expecting him to not stink it up enough to ruin a bet. Ron Crawford like in San Diego plus 107 spreadsheet play of the day. Justin Stacks likes Yandy Diaz total bases. There you go. He's got some WNBA stuff. Dream plus 5.5. I'm mostly doing WNBA live and sometimes pregame team totals. So I haven't looked at WNBA yet. Let's see. But I agree with Gerald Jones. Shout out to everyone in the comments section. Kent Davies took the Bills. That one scared the hell out of me. I mean, good for you, Kent Davies. But Arizona's a scary freaking team.
Yeah, I was very close to taking the Bills as well. The Bills were my second choice, and I was definitely I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't take the Bills this week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no way would I have taken the Bills just because it's so scary with that, that Cardinals offense when they're healthy to start the year. It's just, the Bills are great, obviously, but very, very, very scary. And let's see. Shout out to Jermaine Connolly. All right, I think we're ready to go. Ready to jump into MLB, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, let's do it. Pete, Pete, I'll need you to cap one thing for me later on in the day. Venezuela versus Uruguay World Cup qualifier. Let me know what you think about that later on today.
Oh, and also there is one bet I made on the debate tonight. Longest first answer. I took Kamala Harris at plus 110. I mean, she used a lot of words to say very little. And I know that Trump can go on and make his jokes and his shtick and stuff, but at a dog line, I took Kamala Harris first answer longest at plus 110. Bet online, baby.
Well, now I must go look at the The debate props here. I'm very interested now.
Bet online. I mean, certainly not a lock, but at dog money, I took that one.
It's very interesting. I just pulled it up. Pete. They have debate winner. I don't know. How do you measure debate winner?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. And I did see that. I wanted to look into it. And I thought I saw that Harris was a huge favorite, right?
Yeah, minus 250. I don't understand how that's measured, but that's very funny.
Yeah. I would bet, Trump, say what you want about him. He's a pretty good speaker. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason I didn't bet it is because I was like, well, how are they measuring this? I'm assuming it's some kind of poll or exit survey or something like that. But yeah, a lot of words that say nothing. Yeah. You're like, all right, hilarious. Kamala, we got this simple thing for you to say. And then she used 80 words later. She's still going. I'm not saying it's a lock. I'm just saying it's a good bet at plus money. I wouldn't have taken it at minus 110. All right, let's see.
And shout out to Goran, by the way. He said Venezuela money line. I love to see that, Goran. It's a gigantic game for him.
Yeah. Dale Fick saying Trump is a little slow this time around, which means that maybe he'll, take longer to pronounce his words. This is true. Again, he's a favorite, though. I would not have taken that with anything other than plus money. All right, let's get into it. Jose Bouquett. Let's see. Oh, and here we go. Morgan Spooner, cards -1, the O's money line. Yeah, what's up? And Spencer Arrighetti. Right, I'm going to copy this. I will admit, Arrighetti makes me nervous, but I did bet that prop a little bit just because it made some sense to me. I mean, the line had value. The line didn't quite make sense. Arrighetti, of course, off of getting shelled, should be a big bounce back spot for him. He's a youngster with very, very high volatility. My numbers said that 17.5 over outs at plus 100 minus 105 or so would have some value. As always, when you see something with I think where you think you're seeing value, you have to ask yourself why is the line where it is, which I can't quite answer except for his last start where he got crushed. But I agree with you, Morgan Spooner. I took that Arrighetti over props bet as well. We'll talk about Baltimore. They've been slumping a little bit offensively. Hungary, Ecuador money line. I did take Hungary money draw no bet. I took Hungary draw no bet. Beat the line move. Got minus 400 on that one. Parlayed it.
Go ahead, mark it as a victory. Beat the line move. Mark it down.
There you go. Yeah. What can I tell you? And that one. Yeah. Jeez. All right. Okay. Laylock, we will talk about that. Shout out to Mally Mal. All right. Okay, let's get into it, Jose Bouquett. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Our first game on the card, Colorado and Detroit. Blaylock and Montero. Blaylock, of course, major control issues. Is that going to change here? Not exactly sure. Of course, he's working. You can bet he's working with a pitching coach to fix that behind the scenes. And anytime you have a young pitcher with control issues and good stuff, an extreme reversal of form late in September is never a surprise. So this one scares me. Montero often vulnerable, could be better here. Detroit, of course, a huge favorite, and I just passed on this one. Total's about 8.5. Just a pass for me. Both pitchers make me nervous betting on or against, and I pass. You got anything on this one, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah, I didn't move on this one either, but I will mention the market real quick for everyone. 89% of the bets, 92% of the money on the Tigers here. Line has where we go. Line has moved up a little bit, minus 170 opener up to minus 176. Probably not enough for me to move on it. I don't think the Tigers should be this big of a favorite against really anyone, especially with Keider Montero on the mound. So I'd lean Rockies, but no action here for me as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's the comment section, see if anyone has anything to say about this one. Mally Mal says, when I see Braves, I automatically think under. Yeah, that's an interesting game. We will get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
we'll talk about that one.
Love what's happening.
Ronaldo Lopez against Gore. The both of them have been excellent. Question is, how likely is each to continue? Neither's a lock. Gore was very vulnerable for a while. Now 3 straight excellent starts. Now he's at home against Atlanta. Yes, we will talk about that one. And there's Nut Flush 16. There you go. Every fucking thing Nut Flush posts, and I'm not talking about picks, I'm talking about general wisdom. I copy and paste it. Yes, to remind myself, this time of year, the basement teams will tend to leave younger pitchers in longer than normal for extra evaluation. That's absolutely right. Torrey Coker took Detroit first 5, which is certainly, justifiable. I understand that. It's just the price is a little high for me. Ricky Bobby likes Rockies or under. And Juan Ruiz, shout out Juan Ruiz. Sancho, Braves, Orioles, Twins. Okay. All right, let's move on, Jose. Are you there, baby?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks. All right, next game on the card, Miami, Pittsburgh. This one was tough because there was no announced pitcher. Now you got an opener, and then Wentz is the primary, and I have Pittsburgh as about a -140 favor. So starter for Miami, Aller can be good, but again has control issues. Guessing he's going to have control issues here. I didn't look into it too deeply because I didn't know who the pitchers were going to be. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm just going to pass. The big question is, will Aller be better than he has been recently? My numbers indicate low confidence, but more likely than not, he will continue to struggle with his control. I almost took over 2.5 walks for him at plus money, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on that. Another tough one. I have bets on the later games. This one was also a big pass for me. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this one was kind of the opposite of the first one, though. I didn't like the Tigers at a big, favorite price. This one, I was pretty surprised to see the Pirates at -150, and it felt like, and you said Joey Wentz obviously is the primary today, but it felt like if you see the Pirates at this big of a price, you can't take them because they're this price for a reason.
Right.
Opened up at -135, now up to -150.
Yeah, look at that.
Sure, you could tell me that it's a pitching change, et cetera, but 80% of the money, 80% of the bets, 83% of the money on the Pirates here. I just think this is a spot where the Pirates are very much gonna roll, I guess. This is a smash spot for the Pirates, but I'm not gonna move on. I'm not confident enough to take a -1 or -1.5. But I do think Pirates win here.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously you got a Cincy starter for Miami, so not a big surprise there. Let's look at the comment section. Torrey Coker has got first 5 over in this one, which sure, I can certainly see that one as well. Yeah, it just makes me very nervous to take this kind of a favorite in at this time of year, unless you're betting on one of these absolute stud starting pitchers who's game in and game out giving you an elite performance. It makes me very nervous to take this level of a favorite with these kinds of teams.
I agree with you. The only reason I'm not on it is because I'd be worried to lay this kind of juice with the Pirates, but I think it's only Pirates or pass for me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. Here we go. Tampa Bay, Philly. Bradley and Suarez. Taj Bradley, of course, off of a 10 strikeout start, but he might be wearing down a little bit. He's been a little bit vulnerable recently, and I'm guessing he's more likely to be more vulnerable here. And Suarez, again, off the injury, pitching pretty well, but they are being careful with him, kind of limiting his innings. So Philly's a big favorite. I took a few plays. I did take Suarez under 17.5 outs at +123, just because if his pitch count gets up there, I'm not sure that they will run him out for a 6th inning, even if he's pitching well. And the Bradley pitching props were suspiciously, low or high based on his strikeout, based on what you're looking at, indicating that he's going to pitch better than I would expect him to. So I took a shot with his under 6.5 strikeouts at like -140, over 4.5 hits at like -155 or so. And I didn't bet his earned runs prop, which was 2.5 over +100, but I was tempted to. That's another one I'm thinking about. And again, who was it that liked the first 5? Yeah, I forgot who it was, but someone says they like Philly first 5 here, which makes sense to me. My numbers indicate a nice short spot for Suarez and Bradley to be more vulnerable than normal, and he's been pretty vulnerable anyway recently. So I'm going to make a few of those official. I definitely would endorse a play on Philly first 5. what's your take on Taj Bradley here? You think he's fadeable here? And what's up with the Philly lineup? Can they be relied on to get to him?
Yeah, Pete, this is the first one I guess we will disagree on. I actually think Taj Bradley seems kind of bet on today. And I'll explain the market is kind of the reason I feel that. So let's go to the money line splits here. 91% of the bets, 97% of the money on the Philadelphia Phillies here, Pete. And yet this opened up minus 180, Pete. And we've tumbled all the way down to now minus 162. So almost 20 cents of movement down to the Rays, with all the money on the Phillies is just a little sketchy, Pete, I think. And interestingly enough, on the total as well, 97% of the bets, 96% of the money on the over. This is opened up at an 8. And someone in the chat, please let me know if you guys have other openers. BetOnline had this opening at 8, and it seems like Bookmaker and Heritage didn't, but Bookmaker also opened this up at 8. BetOnline already down to a 7. Bookmaker at a 7.5. Juice to the under. Yeah, I want to bet an over here. I do. When a full run movement down for the total, Pete, has been kind of that sweet spot for me recently, betting these overs. Shout out to Mikey Money who pointed it out to me, and he's kind of the one that gave me the trend, I guess. But I mean, Pete, you've said this. In the year 2024, we have fucking AI making these lines, writing the scripts for these games. So these lines, these openers are super sharp, especially at this point. So when it moves down a full run, it just seems like, you know what, I should step in and take the over at some point here. So I think that Ranger Suarez is liable to get touched up today.
Really?
And that's the surprising thing of it. I thought maybe it was more like, oh, Taj Bradley pitches well, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, this full run movement down, typically leads me to overs. And if I think that, it must be that Ranger Suarez gets hit today. 20th are the Rays against lefties since the 15th of August to today. So that's not very good. 81 weighted runs created plus. But yeah, I do think that they both get touched up here. Odds bunch, our guy Sharpie saying Suarez is not right. I've watched his last 2 games. Something is wrong. And he's pitching at home, which is another scary factor for me. Sharpie, the aforementioned, has mentioned many times the grass there, watered down. It helps these lefties for sure. So I lean over in this game, and I'm gonna try to move and see if I can find a 7 and bet that over, Pete.
Thank the Lord that the Sharpie is in there. Yes, I guess of all the bets, I'm liking the Suarez under outs prop is good because if he gets hit, then he gets hit. And if he's good, again, they're being kind of careful with him. So he might pitch decently or even well and still not get 6 innings. So I'll make that official. Suarez under 17.5 outs, plus 125 at Pinnacle. And all right, we can agree to disagree on. I'm not quite sure what to make of Bradley. While I line chop a little bit, what's your take on the Philly lineup right now, if you have one, Jose Bouquett?
Let's see here. I'll tell you right now what they are against righties from the 15th to today. They are 10th, 106 weighted runs created plus against them. And I'm obviously interested as well to see how Taj Bradley, his lefty-righty splits here. We usually took a look at home road, but his lefty-righty here will be helpful. He is against righties, 223 average against lefties, 243. He's given up more home runs to righties than lefties, though, so that's good. I look at the lefties, again, because Harper, Schwarber, very hot. I should say Schwarber, very hot. So those guys are going to be a concern. But yeah, I think I like an over in this game. And I mean, again, I think the Rays are live in this game. That 20-cent movement towards them is very interesting. Sharpie saying he's looking at Taj 7+ Ks here. Need the lineups.
Oh, really?
Need the lineups, but they're putting him up there when he should be a 5.5. Tells me he's going off.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's the difference between me and Sharpie. When it should be a 5.5 and they put 6.5, I'm like, I know better than the books. Sharpie's like, the books know better than me. They're trying to tell me something. Yeah, Jose Bouquett. I mean, they got AI making all these lines, but AI is no match for my gut feel. I have gut feel, and I'm the only one who has that. You know what I'm saying, Jose Bouquett? All right. I'll definitely I just found Suarez under 17.5 outs plus 130 bet online, and I'll also take Bradley over 4.5 hits minus 143 at bet online, and the strikeout prop under 6.5 minus 142 at Caesars. Maybe I should hold off on that. I don't know. I'll definitely make the hits prop and the Suarez outs prop official. Those are two official plays. And man, let me look at the comments section. Here you go. Yep, there you go. Odds bunch. Shout out to Sharpie. I'm looking at Todd's 7+ need lineups with books putting him out there when he should be a 5.5. Tells me he's going off. Yes.
I'm going to move on officially. Tampa Bay Rays full game money line plus 148. I'm going to leave the over. A little just conflicting line, where it starts, where it's ending. So I'll just take Tampa Bay money line here, full game plus 148.
Yeah, and Voodoo Ranger 95 Taj props imply he pitches well today. Yes. And so that's why I like taking hits props, because a lot of times if a guy's pitching well, he'll go deep. And then if you have a low hits prop, it can sometimes sneak over anyway. You can easily see Taj Bradley, 7 innings, 1 earned run, and 5 hits. Great start, but this hits prop still cashes. All right.
Okay, I'm getting actually 150, so that's actually nice. Not bad. By the way, shout out to DC Capper. He's saying, cash the biggest wager I've ever had. Cashed it in the NFL. Detroit Lions minus 3.5. 3K casher for DC Capper. Shout out to you, my man. I bet you slept great Sunday night.
Shout out to you. Hell yeah. Yeah, I had $20 to win $18.18 on the Detroit Lions minus 3.5. Shout out to you. Wide Time Sports. What's up, baby? All right. Thank you, Sharpie. I've already made my bets on the Bradley strikeout under prop, but I'm going to hold off on my official play just because of what Sharpie says, which is of course completely true. But there you go. Not flush 16. I do not trust Ray's offense, but I also do not trust Bradley. I don't trust Bradley either here. All right, maybe I'll add that one on later on in the show, but let's move on for now. All right, shout out to the entire friggin' comment section for making this show so fun. All right, you ready, Jose Bouquett?
Yep, let's ride.
Okay, now we need you. Sharpie, Nutflush, Jermaine, everyone in the comment section. Atlanta, Washington. Ronaldo Lopez against Gore. Lopez, excellent since his return. Off an 11 strikeout start. Is that likely to continue here? Gore, shaky for quite a while. Now 3 straight excellent starts in a row. A low total at Washington. Washington is a significant home dog, which is interesting. My numbers indicated Lopez more likely than Gore to have a good start, but that Washington at like plus 140 would be the play. I didn't bet it, but if I had to play it, I would. And yeah, the low talk. Hey, Sharpie, you there? Talk about a strikeout prop that, based on recent form, doesn't quite make sense. Lopez strikeouts at just 5.5, and not crazy juice either. Minus 130, minus 135, and the Lopez earned run prop 2.5. It's big juice at like minus 170, minus 180 to the under, but he's been dealing. And I know you follow him, Jose Bouquett. And then Gore, if Gore is going to once again be good, then his over outs prop at 16.5 minus 115 or so is very good. And again, Lopez, if there's any reason not to expect him to deal again, I'm not quite seeing it. His outs prop is just 17.5 minus 130. He looks like he's reliably giving the 6-inning quality starts. Even if he gives up 3 runs and the earned run prop doesn't cash, he still gets to 18. And then also, Atlanta was a suspiciously low line on the first 5, minus 120, which didn't quite make sense also in light of how Lopez has gone. So I know you look carefully at all these markets, Jose Bouquett. A very interesting game. Washington, big home dog. 2 interesting starters. What's your take here, Jose?
Favorite game of the day right here, Pete. Favorite game of the day. First of all, let us tip our hats. I tip my hat to you, Pete, for a winning birthday pick last week. Patrick Corbin No sweat. Easy money. That was great.
I mean, I just gave you an autoplay. Corbin over strikeout props is a no-brainer autoplay every start out. So that didn't take any research or thought at all on my part.
Yeah, so shout out to you, Pete. We tip our hat. I love the Washington Nationals here again. I love them, Pete. Maybe I'll get caught in the sharp trap here again. But the Braves are just not a bet on team right now. I have said I bet them to not make the playoffs like a month, 2 months ago now at this point. I got that at plus 375. Now they're battling for the Mets. They're slipping. And I think the momentum is there. And I think the Braves lose here today. So shout out to my Washington Nationals here. Full game money line. Let's go through the market, and I'll tell you why I'm on them here. You'll know why I'm on them pretty quickly. 80% of the bets, 85% of the money on, you guessed it, the Atlanta Braves here. Opened up at minus 155. We're all the way down to minus 130. It did get down to minus 126 at one point. But now the fact that we're down at minus 130, I just think the Braves are a fade team right now. They're slipping, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They've not hit all year. They've been the best under team in baseball. But you know what that means, Pete? All these underdogs are going to be in this game. They're going to be low-scoring games. They're going to be right there as well. So, come on. Washington Nationals here. Full game. My favorite play of the day here. I've already bet it. Plus 123. I have 2 plays on the card so far. Obviously, big dogs. But I'm going to just keep fading the Braves. I think they're in free fall right now. And as I said a month ago, I don't think they make the playoffs.
Yeah. My numbers love Washington, and when I saw plus 142, I didn't bet it. Now it's a 20-cent move in their favor, so I missed the move there. And the Gore outs prop. I mean, if Washington's going to win, it's probably because Gore has at least another solid game, right?
Yes, I'd probably agree with you. By the way, Nutflush, a good mention here. 19 games left. Be careful. Teams that are like 21 games back, excuse me, they're donezo. They're probably thinking about vacation. So, Good note, Nutflush. I like the Nationals in this spot to avoid that specific scenario. Like teams like the Marlins, Pirates. I think the Giants are 15 games back, but they're on fucking vacation mode. Toronto Blue Jays, obviously the White Sox and Angels. But I think teams like the A's and the Nationals specifically are young enough to be still like focused in on the season. Like there's a bunch of guys on the Nationals, especially position wise, Dylan Cruz, James Wood, etc., who are trying to make the team. They've got a lot of play for. They're young. They want to be in the majors, so they're definitely hungry. And I think the Braves are just in free fall. They can't hit. So yeah, Nationals.
Yeah. I wonder why the Gore outs prop is so low, but I will take it. It's minus 113 Pinnacle, minus 110 at Heritage, just 16.5. So even if he has one of those starts where he kind of messes up in the 6th inning, gets a couple outs, and then they yank him, that one cashes. So I'll start with that. Gore over 16.5 outs, minus 110 Heritage. I'm looking at trying to find the minus 110 bet online. So I'll use the bet online. They also have a minus 110. And then Sharpie, I don't know if you've looked at this, but Ronaldo Lopez, right? Dealing, right? Since he came back. Strikeout numbers 10, 7, 6, 11 since he came back. And now we're seeing 5.5 minus 133. Wonder if Sharpie.
He has a comment here. He says, I have nothing on this game, sorry, but the books are playing with Gore at 5, 5.5, 6Ks. FanDuel, the sharper book, is at 6.5. Should not be at 6.5. So maybe I need to look at Gore now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think this is a national spot. I think he pitches well. Voodoo Ranger, I like this bet as well. If I had same game parlays available to me, I definitely would like this one. Nationals in the under. I think that should just be a good bet placed against the Braves very consistently throughout the rest of the year, I should say. Bet the under. and take the underdog. And I think you'll be
Yes.
cashing out more times than not. And my last thing here, I'll mention Tori Coker. Shout out to Tori Coker, who also gave me a winner on my on the 3rd, but on my birthday. So shout out to you, Corey. It was Mercury first half, I believe. Cashed it, no sweat.
Yes, I remember that.
Today. But shout out to you, Tori. Thank you.
Yeah, Tori Coker. Any basketball or WNBA pick, I'm almost blindly tailing. Ron Crawford with a play of the day. That doesn't help me that much. College football play of the day. Ron Crawford, Florida, +4.5. Already on it. Thank you, Ron Crawford, for posting that. Now I will sleep better. I'll feel less nervous about it. But you can't tail what you're already on. Totally agree. Shout out to you, Ron Crawford. Thanks so much for posting. Or you can double up. You can double up, though.
I think I'm going to move on Florida now at the very least. So thank you, Ron Crawford. That helps me.
Shout out to Ron Crawford.
Yeah. Though, Nationals for me, my best bet of the day, my favorite bet, whatever you want to call it. But that's all I've got on this one.
Lopez due for regression, and he always plays bad versus lesser opponents. That comments comes from Huge Anus. That's his name. What do you want me to? What do you want me to not read it? I'm going to give him credit. He chose if he chooses that name, and YouTube doesn't censor it, I'm going to read it. Okay.
Well, Huge Anus had a good night last night. He was on the 49ers. One of the only people on the 49ers. As well. Everyone was on the Jets on the stream, so shout out to Hugh. And he did, I guess, tail me. I don't know if he tailed me or just bet the Reds last night as well. So that was really nice. Shout out to you, Hugh.
You know what? We should bring that shit back, man. We should make a movie where the entire movie just has, Mike Hunt jokes and Hugh Janus jokes and shit like that. That's the entire fucking movie. That's it. That's the entire movie is about a woman on a worldwide search looking for Mike Hunt. Huge Anus, shout out to you. Yeah, Lopez due for regression. Okay, let me see. What do we got? Oh, Tori Coker is on the Braves. Well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun
one. All right, I'm just gonna take. I'm gonna stick with. Gore over 16.5 outs -110 bet online. The Lopez strikeout prop, I don't understand, but Huge Anus has told us that he's due for regression. So I'm going to hold off on that one. Also with the earn run prop as well. And with the outs prop. Very nice. Thank you so much, Huge Anus. Okay. Next game on the card, Jose Bouquett. KC Yanks. Lugo against Stroman. All right. You tell me if I'm doing something wrong here, right? Jose Bouquett, Lugo. Maybe I have a bad read on Lugo in these shows. I remember one time I made a prediction with Lugo, bet like 2 or 3 props with him, and that game happened to be wrong. Lugo off 2 straight excellent, starts. He's a high volatility guy. Stroman pounded last start. My numbers indicate a down spot for Lugo, up spot for Stroman, and I made a couple bets. Stroman doesn't get a lot of Ks, but that's why his strikeout numbers are low. Took a shot with his over 3.5 strikeouts. I also took a shot with under 2.5 earned runs for Stroman. And I took a small shot with Lugo under 5.5 strikeouts. But once again, I could be wrong here. Didn't bet the Yankees, but my numbers indicate a better start for Stroman than what we've seen recently. A less good than average start from Lugo. And that's my take on this one. What's your take on Lugo versus Stroman here, Jose Bouquett? And comment section, please.
Yeah, I lean Royals. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Royals won this game. This is a very much a kind of a playoff kind of vibe for me, Pete. I'm not going to lie. A matchup we could easily see. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw Yankees -130. In the playoffs, I'll probably be closer to -150, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw this in the playoffs. It's a good pitching matchup. I kind of leaned under, but we'll talk about the markets here, and we'll talk about why I was kind of interested in the Royals. 90% of the bets and 91% of the money on the Yankees here. Bet Online has not moved this much at all. It opened up at -135. It got up to -144. It comes right back down to -135. Now up to -140 again. So up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't love that. I lean heavily towards the Royals here. Seth Lugo's had a great year as well. Total 89% of the bets and money on the over in this, and it has not moved very much either. 3 cents of juice to the over on Bet Online. So I expect this to be a kind of an under game. I expect this to be tight because I think the Royals know, especially because this could be a playoff matchup for us, but under Royals for me, but no action here.
Yeah, you probably don't have a take on Stroman. He's obviously coming off a bad start at Texas. August was pretty good for him. He had a dud and a few, but in general, he had a good August. But before that, he was getting hit most of his starts. So he can be a tough guy to get a read on. My numbers indicate probably a decent start from him. You're saying the market is indicating not.
It's just, there's not any movement with all that money on the Yankees. You'd figure it would go somewhere, Pete, at least up for them. And it hasn't. It got up to minus 140 and comes right back down. So just can't do it.
You would think that. One would think that, Jose Bouquett, for sure. For sure. All right, let's look at the comment section, see if anyone has to say anything about this. Gosh, where's Sharpie? Where's Sharpie?
By the way, shout out to, I think Nutflush was mentioning Tuate Latte. Shout out to Mr. Pussy Coffee. Hope he's doing well.
I guarantee you Huge Anus is going to have some comment about this game. I need Sharpie. Irish King likes the Yankees minus 1.5. Shout out to Red Girl. Raymond Reichart. Redbeard says Lugo over. My numbers I took a shot with his under 5.5 strikeouts. That might have been a mistake, though. Tom Leach, play of the day, likes Nats first 5. Okay, yeah. I think I'm liking my my Gore over outs prop more and more and more. All right, no one's really coming in. And then Ron Crawford, San Diego play of the day. We'll get to that. Man, all right. I guess I gotta. Yeah, it's what, like, betting on Stroman to have a good start is like in poker, calling with a draw. It's like sometimes you hit it, but more often than not, you fucking get burned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm going to hold off. I really want to take Stroman under 2.5 earned runs. The KC lineup, what's their deal right now? Are they okay? Not really.
Yeah. Let's look at KC against righties here for the last month-ish. They are 25th against righties, 89 weighted runs created plus. Very bad this month so far.
Yeah. Just Stroman can be vulnerable. He gave up 3 earned runs to Colorado at home, but, all right, I guess I'll hold off for now. I'll hold off on this one for now. Leans are definitely Stroman over 3.5 strikeouts and under 2.5 earned runs. All right, next game on the card. You ready, Jose Bouquett? Another instrument, Peterson and Bassett for Mets against Toronto. I believe it was a Tuesday show where there was another line involving Peterson where I thought the first 5 was a great bet. Didn't understand the line. I bet it myself pretty big, but didn't have the balls to give it as an official play because the line didn't make sense. And here again, right? Peterson, just every start in and start out. I know he's off an 11 strikeout start now, so maybe there's a down spot for him. My numbers indicate he's probably going to have another decent start. And Bassett, kind of the opposite. He's generally vulnerable. Sometimes, especially at home, he has a nice start, goes 6, gives up 2 or 3 or whatever, but more often than not vulnerable. So it's a little bit suspicious to me that the Mets in general, that the full game line and the first 5 line especially are as low as they are. What's your take on this one, Jose?
Yeah, I agree with you. This seemed kind of trappy. This definitely seemed kind of trappy. 77% of the bets, 69% of the money on the Mets. Opened up at minus 130, Pete. We go down to minus 123. This is Bet Online. So that's, obviously green flags for me betting the Blue Jays here. Minus 145 at Bookmaker, Pete. Now down to minus 126.
Yeah. Now what the hell is going on there?
Yeah, I think it's a very similar spot to what we talked about earlier with I've already forgotten the spot where it was. I guess it was probably the Nationals. Same spot. I think it's a fishy line. I think they lined it low. Or well, I guess they lined it low to get a bunch of people to bet the Mets, and now they're getting more people to bet the Mets. The lower it goes, Chris Bassett, I think, is a quality enough pitcher to get it done here. I'm obviously going to be worried about the lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays here. They have the AAA, all the AAA kids up there. They're 23rd against lefties this month, 72 weighted runs created plus from the 15th to the 10th of September. So just not good. I mean, yeah. Oh, look at that. I can see Matty Ice here. Taint play of the day.
I got it.
5 under. Jeez. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense. I think Toronto is the play. I think Chris Bassett pitches well. It's just scary to try to expect runs from the Blue Jays lineup. But I'll consider moving on Taint and Blue Jays as well here. But let us bask in the glory of Taint. Shout out to Taint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a jam. Yeah, I mean, Tom Leach saying leaning Mets, but price is fishy. But Peterson is one of those guys where the fishy prices have actually not been correct. And I bet them, not giving them publicly. But there was a Tuesday show where I didn't give it officially. And then you have another comment here. Where is that comment? Jerry Davis. Almost every capper keeps calling for Peterson regression for the entire season, but it never comes.
No, he just might be a good pitcher. I mean, I get it. Oh, Ricky Bobby, I got you, dog. Sorry. I got you, Rick. There you go, Ricky. I got you. Look at that. Pete, you feel good about your Taj Bradley action?
Yes. Sharpie went to the lab, came running back just after he did the math. He says, I got him for 8.5 strikeouts on a bad day when I see 6 out of 9 who chase, and all but Stott struggles against 3, if not all 4 of his pitch mix. I see why books put a 6.5. So Sharpie's saying that the matchups are why the line is where it is. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Huge shout out to Sharpie. Thank you so much. Sharpie. Well, yeah, then we got a weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna give you guys the market and the total real quick. I only have a 4 at plus money, unfortunately, for the first 5 total, but I'll let you guys know for the full game total, 8 minus 110 each way. The juice has moved to minus 115 to the under here, with 73% of the bets and 85% of the money on the over here. So I do like the unders here. I was thinking about going full game, but I might just end up just on Toronto Blue Jays money line here. But I'm a fishy on that. I'll tell you that right now, Pete. 114 for me.
See these 2 comments. The Irish King. That's how I cap. You got Sharpie saying that he just finished the math. He's got strikeouts 6 out of their 9. Chase and all but Stott struggle against 3, if not all 4 of his pitch mix. But I think I'm going to take the Mets here. For Irish King 97's reasons. Jays suck. That's how I cap. I find out who sucks and I fade him. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take Peterson under 2.5 earned runs. I don't know why it's so high, especially when other sucky pitchers are getting like 1.5 and stuff. But I will take that one. Peterson under 2.5 earned runs. It's going to be juicy, but I'll take it. And again, as Irish King 97 said, Jays suck, which I agree with. All right, so let me see. You want to read some comments while I shop around a little and look at these pitching props here? Jose Bouquett?
Sure. J Dub saying Mets too easy. Bassett terrible at home and their bullpen sucks. Both pitcher over K's for Nate Dogg. Nice to see you, Nate Dogg. Fernando Mendoza saying let's go Mets, needs them to get to 80 plus wins. I think he'll be good there, Fernando. Here Raymond saying his offshore has under 4 minus 102. That sucks. Here Ricky, I got you like I said here. And There's taint for those who missed it. Very interesting. It's funny. The Nutflush is saying the Jays are nothing more than a 40-year-old, 40 and over men's softball league. If you can't produce against Meatball Miguel, then there's nothing you can do. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like maybe I'm getting suckered in, and it's okay to get suckered in when you take, or it's less painful when you take a big dog line. But at a favorite line, I'm gonna have to take. Let's see. Caesars has minus 169. Let's see. Yeah, Pinnacle has worse, so I'm gonna have to take the Caesars line here, unless Bet Online can give me a little bit better. Let's see what they got. Earned runs, Bet Online. Nope, minus 172. All right, I'll take that minus 169. Caesars, Peterson under 2.5 earned runs. And the strikeout props in this game are also a little bit iffy. Peterson just down to 4.5 strikeouts at like minus 140 to the over, and Bassett all the way up at 6.5. I mean, that's juiced heavily to the under, minus 160 or so, but still, the market seems to be indicating that Bassett's going to have a nice little start here.
I think they do. I think the line is telling. I think the line is trying to get everyone to bet the Mets here. And I did say that these Jays are on vacation here, but I think the line is just telling that they're moving in that direction with all the money on the Mets. So I like that. I'm not going to bet the Jays every day, obviously, because I do think they're on vacation, but today is the day.
And the Peterson outs prop is 17.5, a little bit just to the over. The Bassett outs prop is 18.5. At like minus 200, but still they hung an 18.5. All right, I guess I'll just stick with Peterson under 2.5 earned runs. My gut is telling me this is a mistake, but let's look at the comment section one more time. And then Voodoo Ranger Peterson to get the win plus 160. Sharpie says the Mets are last year's D-backs. Last 2 months they're playing as a team and it's fun to watch. Yeah, I really don't get this line. Kelly McGinnis, Mets minus 1.5. All right. Odds, but Sharpie, last 5 lefties with struds against Toronto. Back half of this lineup is a bunch of kids. Like you said, they're on vacation. Man. All right, I'll push it back on you then, Sharpie. Then why are they offering 2.5 earned runs? And the outs prop for Peterson is just 17.5. I mean, when he has a good start, he goes, these guys who are reliably, 6-inning starters, their 17.5 outs props are like minus 190 on the over. And sometimes those are good bets, Last time Peterson didn't go 6 was at Coors, and before that it was July. So I don't know. I'll take Peterson under 2.5 earned runs. Definitely leaning Peterson over 17.5 outs. And leaning Mets first 5, but I guess I will, I'll pass on all that. Let's see what people have to say. Red Beard likes Mets team total over 4.5. All right, let's move on, Jose. Ready?
Ready.
Baltimore, Boston. Here we go. Suarez for Baltimore got hit by the White Sox in his last start. Before that, he was excellent in August. And then Crawford suddenly getting less shitty. Three straight nice starts for Crawford. Still giving up a couple runs, but got 8 strikeouts in his last start. I think I took the under in that one on a Tuesday show and lost with it. Boston, of course, off of a big win. Baltimore, kind of slumping a little bit offensively. My numbers indicate that Crawford over just 4.5 hits at minus 125 is a good bet. I bet that one. I know that Crawford's been better recently. I know Baltimore's been slumping offensively recently, but that is a low hits number for someone like Crawford, unless it's warranted. Jose Bouquett, you have anything to say about that? Is Crawford, is Baltimore... Are Baltimore's offensive struggles due to something fundamental, and is Crawford going to have a nice start again here?
Yes, he is, Pete. I did this yesterday. The same exact bet, same exact reason. Why are the Boston Red Sox favored in this game? They were favored yesterday against the lefty starter. It was a bad one, but still, they ran it up, and they won that game. Why are they favored here against probably a better starter? I don't get it. So when I don't understand a line like this, Pete, I kind of bet into my lack of understanding. Just give me the Boston Red Sox here. Full game money line yet again here. I took them yesterday. I'm on them again. 71% of the bets, but only 19% of the money, Pete, on the Red Sox here. So sharp, bigger bets on the Orioles for sure. This line opened up minus 115 for these Boston Red Sox. Goes down to minus 105 at one point. And it just climbs. It climbs all the way back up to minus 130. I think it's a little worrisome that there's more tickets on the Red Sox. But I think it's a trap for people. Oh, Orioles are plus money. Let's go bet them. And I think the Red Sox win here yet again here. So Boston Red Sox for me. Now, I saw Nutflush say a Boston Red Sox team total under. I mean, I absolutely don't. I don't hate that because they put up 10 runs yesterday. And as I subscribe to the please prove it to me that you can score back-to-back nights of crooked numbers, I definitely subscribe to that theory. The Red Sox have been hitting okay in the last, few days. It's been better to see. Their offense had been going into the fucking cellar recently against righties from the 18th. So you mean the 15th to today, Boston 15th, 99 weighted runs created plus. If you do only September, so 10 days against righties here, their numbers are even worse. 20th, 90 weighted runs created plus. And still, they're favored. The line's moving towards them. Give me the Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah, Crawford's interesting. He gives up runs, but he doesn't really give up hits.
He loves giving up home runs. I'll tell you that, Pete.
Yeah.
Loves it. It's nice to be on the same side as Nasty Nate's Red Sox smash there. So let's roll, Nasty Nate. Minus 131 for me. Getting a little juicy.
BT likes Boston just first 5. Voodoo Ranger saying both bullpens are trash right now. Yeah, so possible late inning swing. So there you go. Man, I guess it's a play on Cutter Crawford. I don't know.
Bullpen is relatively fresh as well.
Will the Giants win 3 games this year? Yes, I do believe so. I think they, and not only that, but I don't give a shit about the Giants, but I do believe that at some point, for at least a few games, if not more, they will be undervalued and be a good bet. Could be wrong about that, but yeah, we'll see. Nutflush Allen liking the Red Sox team total under.
That makes sense. I think it seems like it'll be a low-scoring game tonight.
Jerry Davis making me feel better that I didn't add Stroman as an official play. He says negative regression for Stroman against the Royals. Nate Dogg likes Suarez over strikeouts. Yeah, Suarez, I don't have a good read on whether he's likely to, whether that last start was just a speed bump or whether it's yeah. Wow. Okay, let me see. Wow. Okay, I guess I will hold off. Tempting to take Crawford over 4.5 hits. I'm going to hold off. Next game on the card, Angels in Minnesota. This is an interesting one. Minnesota really struggling, but a huge favorite against the Angels. Of course, Lopez had a string of 3 straight shutout starts. Last start was good again, but he gave up a bunch of runs at Tampa Bay. Canning, last start was good. He has control issues. He's probably going to be vulnerable here, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing a justifiable line for Minnesota at like minus, in the minus 200s. And I do kind of like Canning over 4.5 strikeouts. Not that he's going to have a great start, but that one way or another, he gets to 5. This is an interesting strikeout game. Sharpie, if you're still there. Lopez, 7.5 strikeouts, pretty heavily juiced to the under. And of course, Lopez, can have high strikeout numbers, but a lot of his games, it's take like an over 7.5 and he winds up with 6 or 7 and has a good start. So it's tough to take to figure out exactly where Lopez is, at least tough for me to figure out exactly where Lopez's strikeout number should be every game. I do like Canning though, over 4.5 strikeouts at a very modest line. And also Canning's earned run line was 3.5. So I kind of like the under on that one. Minnesota's not really hitting. They have some injuries. What's up with this game, Jose Bouquett? What's up with Minnesota? Should they be this big of a favorite?
I don't think so. I'm not going to move on the Angels as, vacation team, but I I don't think so. I really don't. It should be, minus 170. That'd probably be more reasonable. So it's just a little bit excessive here. Maybe they're trying to factor in a little desperation for the Twins as they're in a wild card hunt. They're slipping more and more and letting the Red Sox get back in it some fucking how. But yeah, I don't think the Angels should be this big of a dog. I really don't. So I lean Angels here, but I didn't move on anything yet. So no action. But I'll mention the market here real quick. I need to continue to do so. 92% of the bets, 98% of the money on the Twins, on the Twins. We went from minus 225 to minus 240 now. So at least if you're a Twins backer, you've got that. So I mean, I guess it makes you feel better. 98% of the bets, 99% of the money on the over. And we went from a wrong game, 8 juice to the under. Now we are 8 minus 110 each way on Bet Online. So yeah, no action. But I lean Angels. I just think they're on vacation like we've talked about here. So and by the way, Raymond, I do like the Raymond report. Doesn't sound too bad. The Reichard report also not bad either. So good things there.
Yeah, Raymond report, Leichert. How about the Loshak Losers Collective? How about that? That's got a nice little ring to it.
That's actually the group chat that we're gonna make with you in it. That's gonna be the title.
I can make it an LLC and call it LLC. That'll be the company name. All right, let's see. This one, by the way, the Lopez strikeout prop is exactly in Sharpie's wheelhouse. When you have a guy like Lopez, high strikeout number, heavily juiced to the under, is this worth staying off or taking the over at a dog line? I'm very curious to see what Sharpie's opinion would be on the Lopez strikeout number. I will take Canning over 4.5 strikeouts official, minus 115 Heritage. Canning over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 115. Not sure what's up with Minnesota. Even if they get to him, it's entirely possible that he could have one of those, 5-inning, 4-run, 6 strikeout starts. So I'm going to take Canning over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 115 Heritage. Lopez, I'm not sure what to make of him. And the Canning under 3.5 earned runs. What's up with the Minnesota offense, Jose Bouquett? Why are they putting a 3.5 earned runs for Canning?
I just don't think Minnesota's good. At the end of the day. I mean, let's not forget that Major League Baseball added this last playoff spot. And some conspiracy theorists, myself, will tell you they added this playoff spot to just lessen spending, to spend less to get into the playoffs. So, just think a couple years ago, the Twins would not be in the playoffs. They'd be battling to try to get in right now. And I don't think that these extra wild card teams tend to be very good teams at the end of the day. So, I don't think the Twins are very good. They're still in 3-7 their last 10 on a 4-game losing streak. They just not good. It's not a good team.
Yeah. Irish King likes Minnesota minus 2.5. I don't understand why they got Canning at 3.5 earned runs.
Well, don't worry, Pete. Sharpie's working on Lopez, and he's working on Lopez at the end he's working on Kirby right now. Lopez will be done by the end of the show. So I could fucking talk, that'd be help. But that is what Sharpie just said. So I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are, Sharpie.
Yeah. As am I. 3.5. 3.5. Do I dare take that? All right, I'll pass. I'll just take the strikeout prop for Canning. I'm being a little bit conservative today's show, but that's all right. Next game on the card, Cleveland White Sox. Once again, White Sox, an enormous dog. Lively starting for Cleveland. Does Lively look like a minus 220 favorite to you, Jose Bouquett? Cannon, had a bad August, but had a nice first start to September. I don't know. Maybe once again, it's worth taking a shot with the White Sox first 3 at plus 180. Massive line there. Cannon with a very low strikeout number, kind of like over 3.5 strikeouts for him at plus money. And the White Sox, don't have a great lineup, but Lively Looks very vulnerable. I bet his hits prop at just 4.5. Man, are the White Sox getting disrespected here? Jose Bouquett, what's going on here?
Well, they are the worst team in modern baseball history, so it makes sense. But Pete, I have a rule about betting the White Sox. I'll only bet the White Sox with 3 pitchers on the bump. Obviously, Garrett Crochet, but he's been worn down and not usable anymore. And he just gets decent prices on it. Our guy, Drew Thorpe, who is, I guess, dead. Who knows where he is right now? He's sent in the minor leagues in oblivion. And my favorite of the 3, Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Cannon has been a quiet, decent pitcher for the White Sox. I'm sure if I go back and look at all my White Sox bets this year, a majority of the cashers are with Jonathan Cannon on the bump. Yes, he does pitch poorly sometimes. He went 5 2/3, 1 earned run against Baltimore last time out. We cashed that. Great times. The starts before then, 4 earned runs against the Red Hot Mets, 5 earned runs against the Red Hot Tigers, 5 earned runs against the shitty Giants, 3 earned runs against the Yankees. So he has his stretches of being bad, but he also can put it together, pitch well. Yeah, Pete, I hadn't looked at it and I wasn't interested in it, but I wouldn't hate a first 5+1/2 here. I really wouldn't. Ben Lively has been fine this year, but it's not like the Guardians' offense is too domineering to get me too worried about how Jonathan Cannon is going to do against this Cleveland team. He's faced Cleveland, has not faced them this year as well, so no familiarity. Yeah, I kind of do like the White Sox first 5 here, Pete. I think I will move on them first 5+1/2 at the very least.
Yeah. How's the Cleveland offense? Because, Cannon, one of these guys who gets either 3 or 4 strikeouts every single game. They got it at 3.5, roughly plus money on his strikeouts, on his strikeout number.
I'll tell you right now, against righties, Cleveland since the 15th to today. Scroll there, 22nd, 92 weighted runs created plus. And Pete, since you're looking at K-props specifically, Cleveland 24th in strikeout percentage, 20.6%. That's actually good in this instance here. The top end is the Rockies, 29% K rate against righties here. So they're actually doing well. And that's kind of a Cleveland Guardians team, though. They just don't strike out. They've got Steven Kwan, who won't strike out. But I think I'll be on the White Sox here, Pete. First 5+1/2 here. I'll tell you the price right now, but it's going to be very interesting to see.
Nutflesh16 with another great comment. Yes, you have to tune into this game. Watch all 17 people in the stands. I only get involved with the White Sox on the road. Very similar when Oakland travels. These pros want to play in front of people. Yes. And you also usually get an odds premium when they go on the road as well. And what I know you don't necessarily know Jose Bouquett, but what the hell is up with Lively? I mean, the White Sox still have a major league team. They got 6 hits against Leiter, right? How bad exactly is Ben Lively right now? I mean, earlier in the year he was very good.
I think Ben Lively is not a playoff starter for these Cleveland Guardians. He'll probably be a long bullpen guy, but he's not bad by any means. Sure, he gave up 4 earned runs to the Royals. Royals are a good team. 6 earned runs to the Pirates. I think maybe there'll be a fatigue factor, perhaps. Let me look at his innings pitched. So since and everyone should know this by now, he was a KBO pitcher, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think it's more fatigue, Pete, than anything. Has thrown 135 innings pitched so far this year in 25 starts. Last year with Cincinnati, 88 innings pitched in 12 starts. He's thrown a bunch in the KBO. He threw 112 in the KBO. But again, I just think he's a little tired. So White Sox for me here. And I agree with you. That is going to be a spot for me. So White Sox first 5+1/2. I'll grab that juice right now again here. I'll keep shopping around for it. But I've got it now plus 115 for me.
Shout out to Lamont Williams. He says, good afternoon, my guy Peter and Jose. My max bet Cleveland money line. Wow, there you go. So Lamont Williams max betting Cleveland money line. Nutflush Allen saying I will only bet the White Sox when they're on the road. Not Jose Bouquett, though. All right, I'll tell you what I will do. I like the Cannon strikeout prop. Now it's gotten bet down. So I won't say I like it more, but I will say I'll take it. It's Cannon over 3.5 strikeouts plus 121 at Pinnacle. I'll take that line. And I'm very tempted to take Lively over 4.5 hits. But that's, going to have to be like minus 160 or so. So I guess I will, I guess I'll pass on that.
Yeah, good luck, my guy, Lamont.
Yeah. And at the very least, I also like the Lively walks prop over. He does seem like he's slumping a little bit, but Ben Lively. It's just he was really so good in like May. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was the first fresh.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, and I think that will be the difference today.
I'll hold off for now. I'll just stick with the Cannon over strikeout prop. Glance the comment section one more time. And Pete says, who do you think is better, McGill or Lively? Oh man, I don't know. I guess when they're fresh, Lively. At this exact moment, I'm not exactly sure. JW says under is a lock here. Okay, let's move on. Jose Bouquett. Cincinnati, St. Louis. This Louder guy for St. Louis has been good so far. He's like a top 10 pick. Control issues, though. You see this a lot with young guys, guys with electric stuff, control issues. And a lot of times those guys, even when they have control issues and give up runs, they still get their strikeouts. So I did take Louder over 3.5 strikeouts at minus 131, going up against Palante for St. Louis, who had a decent August, got hit in his last start. For whatever reason, in his career has been very good against the Reds, right? Including this year. St. Louis is a small favorite here, relatively low total. I'm not sure what to make of what to expect from Palante here against Cincinnati. Probably he'll have a good start, but I do think that that Louder, one way or another, gets to 4Ks. So I did bet that one. I'll probably make it official. What do you think, Jose?
Yeah, I love betting pedigree. I love betting these top prospect pitchers. I think they're here for a reason. They're top prospect for a reason. Rhett, 6 1/3, Shuddy against the Astros last time out. I mean, I could easily see him doing the same here against the Cardinals. Sharp actions on them as well. 23% of the bets, 74% of the money on the Cincinnati Reds here. I don't think I'm going to move on it. There's not, line movement enough for me. Opened up at minus 125, got up to minus 130, now down to minus 127 for St. Louis. But I think Rhett Louder, bet on pitcher, good pitcher. I lean Reds, but both these teams kind of don't have anything to play for. So, I don't know. I just think he's a very capable pitcher we'll be seeing in the future. So, Lamont, nice to see you in the chat, my man. Good luck today. But no action here for me.
Yeah, and once again, at least as of right now, the strikeout prop on Louder that I liked has gotten bet down. I thought it was a nice little play at minus 131. Now at Pinnacle, it's minus 107. So I'll have a little bit of balls, a little bit of confidence in what I see. And I'll make that official. Louder over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 107 current line at Pinnacle. Look at the comments section here.
I don't hate an over. Morgan Spooner, by the way, saying Palante has followed every bad start with a good one. I expect them to shove today. Cardinals money line on my card. Tom Leach likes the Reds. I mean, I don't hate an under in this game. Real quick market, 98% of the bets and money on the over. And we've gone from a minus 115 to the under, minus 110 each way. So I do like an under in this game as well. I'll say that.
Not flush 16. It's just begging me not to be stupid and doing the work for me, saying, look at the last time the Mets faced White Sox, had McGill on the bump. Look. I didn't look, so he's doing it for me. McGill, who sucks, against the White Sox, had a very nice start, and he is not good. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I will not take the over hits prop. I mean, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Morgan Spooner, Palante followed every bad start this year with a good one. I expected to shove today. Yeah, I bet a few Palante props as well. I took under 2.5 earned runs. I took over 17.5 outs, smaller. I do agree with that. Maybe I will. Yeah, I don't want to make it official, but yeah, my numbers indicate a nice start for Palante, and I did bet those. Nutflush16 says the Cards look done at the plate. A lot of swings look half-hearted. Yeah. So again, as you said, Jose Bouquett, I don't know why a guy like Lauder, his strikeout prop going down, because he's exactly one of those guys who, even if when he does get hit, a lot of times will get his over strikeout number if it's low like this. So I don't know. Can't explain it, but I made it official. Leaning Palante to have a good start, but won't make those official either. And let's move on. Shout out to everyone in the comment section. Helping. All right, you want to move on, Jose? You ready? Oakland, Houston.
Yep.
Another guy with a suspiciously low strikeout number that I bet, Osvaldo Bido, who of course has been very good for a while. I know he pitched two innings 3 days ago, so not exactly sure how deep he's likely to go here, but he's not really being overextended. That 2-inning appearance came 5 days after his previous relatively short appearance. And he's the kind of guy who, even if he goes 3 or 4 innings, can easily get a strikeout an inning. And then on the other side, Arrighetti got absolutely crushed at Cincinnati his last start. Before that, 2 straight shutout starts. High volatility for Arrighetti. I don't want to make it official, but someone earlier in the show liked Arrighetti over 17.5 outs prop at even money. I did bet that one a little bit, but I do like Bido to have a nice start here. I took over 3.5 strikeouts for him, and I also took under 2.5 earned runs. If he has a short appearance, and even if he gets touched a little bit, I could easily see, like, from Bido, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and both of those cash. And I also like the Bido under 4.5 hits as well. So it's an interesting spot here. Bido again pitched 2 innings 3 days ago. Arrighetti off of a start at Cincinnati where he got absolutely shellacked. Houston, a huge favorite here, of course, because Oakland sucks. What'd you take on this one, Jose?
I lean under. I think Arrighetti comes back and shoves, but like you said, the props are a little suspiciously low, so no action here for me. Just keep it short and sweet. But market, I'll mention that real quick. I know, again, I need to mention these, so I'll try not to forget. 90% of the bets, 91% of the money on the Houston Astros here. Not any movement at all. Minus 180 opener, still minus 180 at Bet Online. I'm going to give my shit a refresh here real quick. Total 75% of the bets, 80% of the money on the over here. And yes, we have by the way, minus 180 opener. It got down to minus 167 at one point, actually, and comes back up to minus 180. So weird line movement, no action for me.
And again, the Bido strikeout prop I thought was nice at 3.5 at like minus 120 or so. That's gotten bet down to plus 108. And maybe he's on some kind of a pitch count. I don't have an outs prop for him, but his earned run prop is 2.5. So the market is expecting him either to have a short start where he gets hit, or to have a relatively normal length of a start with a very low strikeout prop here. Not exactly sure what's going on. What's your take on Houston offense right now, Jose Bouquett?
You could tell me that they're in cruise control, and I'd believe you. Honestly, they made this big comeback in the division. They now stand 4.5 games up on Seattle. I mean, they're not in full cruise control, but you could tell me that they're half on vacation or half getting ready for the playoffs, I should say, and I believe you. But numbers against righties in the last 15 days. Houston 11th. That's actually one sorted by K percentage. So let me go weighted runs created plus. 6th against the righties. 118 weighted runs created plus against them. So hitting them well.
Yeah. And Jerry Davis with an interesting comment. Yeah, I bet louder at 4 strikeouts, talking about against the Astros, and he couldn't get it in 6 innings against the Astros. So Beto may struggle to get to 4. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, of course I saw that. That, the way I do these numbers sort of is written off as a bit of an anomaly. Morgan Spooner on Arrighetti over 17.5 outs. Yes. Let's see. Nut Flush 16. I could see him shove. And again, 6-inning start is not necessarily shoving. You go 6, gives up 2 or 3 to Oakland, and you cash. Sharpie says Arrighetti needs guys to chase. Oakland, for how ass they are, don't chase for the most part. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will take a shot with the Beto strikeout prop over 3.5 at plus money. 3.5 at plus money. I'll shop around for a good line. And then the earn run prop, I don't understand either. 2.5. I know Houston's been hitting. Houston's been hitting. Beto's a nice arm. And, even if he's pitching well, just because he's off of that other appearance, I doubt they extend him, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
This is interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, I will take Beto over 3.5 strikeouts. It's plus 108 at Caesars. Let's see, plus 108 at Pinnacle. Maybe Bet Online will give us an even better one. I will take that, though. Beto over 3.5 strikeouts. Let's see what Bet Online has here. Yeah, plus 100. All right, so I'll take the Pinnacle line. Plus 108. And I guess I'll hold off on the 2.5 earned runs line. Because he could get hit, pitches in Oakland. He went into Cincinnati and had a nice little start there, but I'll hold off on the earned runs prop. And then the Arrighetti outs prop is looking very, very, very tempting. I don't know if Sharpie's comment is talking more about a strikeout prop. That's just not necessarily the outs prop. I guess I'll hold off on that one too. But it's a man. I'm getting suckered in here. I'll hold off for now on the Arrighetti outs prop. I did bet.
You might be, because you've been humming and hawing on this game for a while.
Yeah. Oh, Jose Bouquett being like, this is not good for ratings. This is not what we want at this time. I hear you, Jose Bouquett. All right. One quick glance at the comment section, then we'll move on. Okay. Next game on the card. Here we go. San Diego, Seattle. Ron Crawford likes San Diego as a small dog. Darvish, first start back, did not go well. Supposedly his, stuff and velocity was fine. Kirby, first September start at Oakland was good after a bad August. Now Seattle's returning from this trip, and the first thing you have to think of here is what to expect from Darvish. I'm not exactly sure. Kirby has a suspiciously high outs prop. Darvish, the market, at least as far as his earned runs and hits props, are indicating that he's going to be good. His earned runs line is 1.5. Over is about minus 150, and his hits prop 3.5. The over just minus 125. So the market expecting Darvish to, at the very least, not give up a lot of hits. Very low total here. Ron Crawford likes San Diego as a dog. What do you like, Jose, if anything?
I think this is a tough game, Pete. I've been trying to fade the Mariners for the last 2 weeks, and I feel like I can never time it well. I think this team is done. And I like the Padres. I'd be very interesting. Obviously, Sharpie was working on Kirby earlier. I'd love to hear what he has to say about Kirby. I agree with Ron Crawford. I want to be on the Padres here and fade the Mariners. Padres 5th against righties. For my split, 120 weighted runs created plus. The market here we have kind of split actually, but sharp action on the Padres, 42% of the bets, 68% of the money on the Padres. So I definitely lean that direction. And line movement wise, it's gone from minus 105 each way, and it's gone to minus 116 Seattle Mariners. So that's kind of where my cap kind of gets off the road. I wanted everything to line up here. The lines move towards Seattle. I don't know why. So I've stayed off this one. Maybe Kirby goes out there and shoves. He's still one of my favorite pitchers to go out there and watch. So,
and I really talk about a line you don't understand. I really do not understand this Darvish hits prop 3.5 minus 125. I mean, a starting pitcher with a 3.5 hits prop, is he on a pitch count or something? Unless he's on a pitch count, that's like near elite level. That would be an appropriate line for Darvish when he was, at his peak, not coming off an injury and a 2-inning start where he got hit.
Yeah, I feel like that's pitch count related. I feel like that's the worry there, and so it's scary.
Yeah, but his strikeout prop is 5.5, so it's all right. I'm going to hold off, but a very strong lean to over 3.5 hits against you, Darvish.
Oh, Pete, I forgot. I was supposed to ask you. Do you remember your guy Juanma?
Of course.
Yeah. Can you tell me about Juanma? I was told that you love him. A goat farmer or a sheep herder? What was it?
Oh no, he was an egg farmer. He was just a pure soul, funny guy. I also did a killer impression of him. Killer. Dead on. Like if Juanma gets famous, I'll be able to go around doing Juanma impressions for a living. And I did one on camera.
Egg farmer.
Well, what?
The famous egg farmer. That's what he'll get famous for, huh?
Yeah. Great human being. He was so weird that at first I didn't know what to make. He bounced around weird, but then I realized
if you're calling someone else weird, then that person must be really weird.
Yes. I'm telling you, weirder than me. You know what I mean? And that is saying something. I'm fucking weird as hell, but I'm not the weirdest. But he was just a pure soul. Like he's weird and pure. I'm weird and a little tainted. You know what I'm saying? But all right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, people talking about Jessica Fine. Oh man, those were the days, baby. All right. Yes, I remember Jessica Fine. Man, those were fun times. Not Flush Allen. Those were fun times. All right. I'm going to pass on this entire game. It's a very interesting one. And I'll be interested to see what Sharpie winds up having to say about Kirby. Because again, Kirby, of course, when he's good, is very good. August was not good. First September start was. So, all right, let's move on. Next game, Texas, Arizona, Eovaldi and Gallen. Texas, good hitting. Arizona back home off of a big win at Houston. And Gallen, normally I have a good read on him. Right now, I don't. I haven't been losing with him. I've just been passing on him. He's one of the pitchers who's off of a no-hit start. Went 6 innings, no hits. And now he comes back home against Texas. Eovaldi, very solid. Last 2 starts, excellent. But before that, he was vulnerable too. So both guys with obviously high ceilings, but recent vulnerability. My sense here is that it's a Texas spot. I don't love fading Gallen, but definitely with a free play, I would throw it on Texas first 3 or first 5. Yeah. Lean Texas first 3, first 5. Haven't made a bet and will probably pass as far as official play is concerned. What do you think, Jose?
Man, I wanted to take my guy Eovaldi again. Pete, I wanted to roll with Nasty Nate here and take him, but the line just kind of steaming up towards the Diamondbacks kind of kept me off here. You know, this line, Pete, up to minus 172 now. Bet online.
Yeah.
Like that is just crazy to me. So it just doesn't seem like it's my other guy, Nasty Nate's day here today. Shout out to Chat Nasty Nate, who had a great weekend this weekend with the Pats. But yeah, I just think that this has gone too juiced. It seems like the Diamondbacks are the spot. If I had to bet anything, I guess I'd lean under, but that line movement all the way going to the Diamondbacks makes it feel like Nasty Nate Eovaldi gets touched up here.
And Voodoo Ranger 95 was asking about the Yu Darvish props. He was saying the 5.5 Ks, no outs line. Yeah, We have a hits prop for you, Darvish, which is 3.5, only -125 on the over. We have a strikeouts prop, which is 5.5, juice the under, but 5.5, but no outs line that I'm seeing for you, Darvish. So very interesting props there for you, Darvish. And my sense is that the over 3.5 hits is a good bet, but I won't make it. I won't make it official. And this one,
Nice to see Birdie in the chat, by the way. Nice
shout out to Birdie. Birdie. I guess I'll pass on it, but Gallen can be good at home, and when he starts to get good, although recently he's been alternating good and bad starts, but he's also in his career strung together excellent starts. All right, pass for me completely. Pass for you, Jose.
Yeah, I'm off.
All right, Milwaukee, San Francisco. There was no line, so I didn't look at this game, which normally would be a disaster for this video. Except we have Nut Flush 16 in the comment section, so it couldn't be better. We could not do a better preview of this game than to read Nut Flush 16's opinions and comments about Milwaukee, San Francisco. There was no line when the video started. Is there a line now? What do we got, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah. I saw Landon Roop is actually going to get the start. I think it's his first name's Landon. I don't know what his lad. Just Roop is what I saw getting the start.
Savali and Birdsong.
Yeah, this got changed. That's why there was no line. Birdsong, I believe, out. We're getting Roop starting.
Roop.
So yeah, I didn't have much time to study this one either. So I made it an easy pass for me, and it is Landon Roop. So good job by me. But it doesn't say he has a primary. He's gone 1-2 innings. 4 innings in September against the Diamondbacks. So I do not want to back him here, to say the least.
Landon Roop. What is that? Oh, he looks pretty good. He looks real good. Look at that. Let's see what Nut Flush Allen has to say, if anything. DC Capper likes Seattle, so he's going up against Ron Crawford's play of the day. Okay, I guess let's just move on. Don't have enough time to look into to Brant Loop right now. And the last game on the card, Cubs Dodgers, Imanaga against Yamamoto. Now Yamamoto, of course, returns. He'll be out of pitch count. He's been out for a while, for like 3 months, and he had 2 very short minor league rehab starts, which, as far as his movement and velocity are concerned, I'm not sure, but his results were not that great. And Imanaga also off of a non-complete game shutout start. 7 no-hit shutout innings in his last start. Imanaga, of course, slumping for a while, been better recently, and now a lot better. He should still give up 2 or 3 here to the Dodgers at least. And Yamamoto, I don't know. It obviously very high ceiling, but his rehab starts are not inspiring. Kind of reminds me of Springs when he came back, and Springs when he first came back was not good, and then he got a lot better in a few starts. But when he first came back, he was not good, and I successfully bet into that. Yamamoto, a little bit different, but I guess I'm going to pass. You have anything on this one, Jose?
Yeah, I love this pitching matchup. I'm going to be glued watching this. Obviously, both Japanese pitchers that came over this year, the big free agents, now facing each other. That's going to be very exciting. I'm in for that shit. I also like both of these guys because they helped me cash a Baseball World Classic future on Japan. So God bless them both. So yeah, I'm going to be watching this game. It's going to be a fun one. I want to back the Cubs here, Pete. I really do. I mean, I'm obviously worried about Shota coming off of the no-hitter. Combined no-hitter. Obviously, he goes 6 or whatever. I think Yamamoto will be fine in this opener, or I guess this debut again. His rehab starts, like you mentioned, not very good. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 home run there. I don't know how long. The most expensive pitcher in baseball. As I am frozen here, there we go. He's the most expensive pitcher in baseball. I think they'll try to build him up and get him ready for the playoffs. So I maybe expect 4 innings, maybe. So I'd be a little surprised if that. So I leaned under. I just didn't expect. I don't know what to get from Yamamoto here. So if I lean under and I was just like, I don't know, I probably should bet an over. But I agree with BJ. Sidewise, it's Cubs or pass for me. The line.
Flush 16.
Go ahead.
Flush 16 says the Giants organization, absolute disaster from top to bottom, fighting in the dugout between players, rumors of GM getting fired, and definitely zero chance on SF. You know what we should do? We should get the fucking Pub Sports Radio crew to start a movement to get Nutflush hired by the San Francisco Giants front office. Not only would it be good for PR and ticket sales, he'd actually fucking give them way better advice than anyone who's in there now. I can guarantee you that. Nutflush Allen, organization, an absolute disaster from top. We got to get him in there. Like friggin' how George Costanza got into the Yankees front office. We got to find a way to get Nutflush in there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Go ahead.
I could see it. It'd be very funny.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Nutflush is saying one way or another, the only way he would bet this game is Brewers. Huge shout out to Nutflush Allen. Fap wins, says Savali spin rate mechanic says he has a good game here. Man, Milwaukee might really be a nice play, actually. Or maybe the under for first 5 under or first 3 under. Because that Luke guy looks all right.
I have no opinion. Luke Landon? No opinion, unfortunately. I'm keeping my card pretty tight here, actually.
Maybe I'll do it on the fly. You know what? I'm going to do that. Let's do that. First 3. This is complete capping the cappers. Observing, watching, and listening to the comment section. We're going to take this. Milwaukee, San Francisco, first 3 under 2.5 minus 140. Official line Caesars. I really like that one, Jose Bouquett.
All right, well, beautiful. Right. It's going to be a fun one not to cover, I guess, to track.
Thank you so much. Nutflush Allen to Fap win. Combo. I read it. I thought about it. I tapped the cappers, and now I'm on it. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Man, this show is so friggin' fun with the comment section. All right, that's it. That's it for MLB. Is Dabby Cab around? Do we have to burn any minutes here, Jose Bouquet?
No, Dabby's ready, so we can just review our action and roll right into it.
All right, so you want to go first?
No, I want you to go first, Pete.
All right, here we go. A lot of leans, but in retrospect, I probably did the right thing by passing on the leans, except for the Peterson under 2.5 earned runs, which I made official, which I have a bad gut feeling of. But okay, Taj Bradley over 4.5 hits, minus 143. Bet online. Even if he has a strong 7-inning start, could easily get over 17.5 outs. Suarez, under 17.5 outs, plus 130, bet online. He, even when he's good, is having short appearances now, and there's some reason to believe that some regression might be in the cards from in this start anyway. So I'm taking that. Suarez, under 17.5, plus 130. Gore, over 16.5 outs, minus 110, bet online. Peterson under 2.5 earned runs, minus 169 Caesars. Hopefully, if he gives up 4 or 5, it's there's an error involved, and he only has 1 or 2 earned runs. Canning over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 115 Heritage. Cannon over 3.5 strikeouts, plus 121 Pinnacle. Louder over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 107 Pinnacle. Don't understand that movement, but okay. Osvaldo Bido over 3.5 strikeouts, plus 108 Pinnacle. And the Fap win, Nutflush Allen combo put me on Milwaukee, San Francisco. First 3 under 2.5 minus 140 Caesars, baby.
All right, my action here. There we go. I finally have locked it all in. Nationals money line plus 123. Red Sox money line minus 131. Rays money line plus 148. Toronto Blue. I just bet the whole AL East, it seems. Toronto Blue Jays plus 114, and the Chicago White Sox first 5 plus a half plus 115. So I just bet all the AL East teams that aren't in first and second place, it seems. So that'll be a fun one. But Pete, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad I'm glad I could get you thinking about Juanma a little bit, and maybe today when you look at some eggs, you'll think about them differently.
Oh, absolutely. You got to sell a lot of eggs to make a living in 2024, but he just had the best attitude ever. Just a wonderful, pure human being.
How would you compare our attitudes?
Whose attitudes?
Me and Juanma.
Oh, yours is way shittier by orders of magnitude, and you have a pretty good attitude. But yeah, he was a pure person.
Fair.
You ain't a pure person. I like you. I love you, but you ain't a pure person.
That's true. That's facts.
That's true. All right. Maybe you are. What do I know? All right. Great MLB segment. Now we're going to talk about 2 college football games with Dabby Cab. We're going to talk very interesting ones. Texas A&M, Florida as a decent sized home dog, and then Ole Miss, Wake Forest. Ole Miss top 10, massive road favorite in a tougher test against Wake Forest. Very, very interesting to hear what Dabby Cab has to say about both of those games. Everyone, welcome to the show, Dabby Cab. Dabby Cab, how you doing, Dabby?
Pete, I've probably done like 1,000 shows now. You know how many times people have had to burn minutes because of me?
Really?
Only one time, and it was 100% Jose's fault. I'll never make you burn minutes. You don't got to worry about that.
That's a good sign. You never quite know. But people think that you never quite know who, someone who's I don't really care. You think, oh, that guy's always late. But no, some people are punctual and you don't expect it. Other people are late when you don't expect. That's a very good quality to have, Dabby Cab. I aspire to that myself.
I learned a long time ago, man. It's just if I'm going to do something, I don't do it half-ass, right?
Oof. Yeah. I learned that 4 years ago. I didn't learn it. It's when I was 38, I still hadn't learned it. I knew I should.
It can be good. It can be bad. There's positives to that. I mean, there's some things that I probably shouldn't have done full that I've done full, but
there you go. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into it, Dabby Cab. First game we're talking about, Texas A&M, Florida. I'll tell you, man, I think this might be a good bet. Ron Crawford already came in and said that's his play of the day. Florida as a dog. Of course, Florida lost to Miami in the opener, but they have a pretty potent, dynamic offense. I was actually on Miami in that one, not my own capping. I was tailing someone else, and I was like, that's a weird pick because normally I don't like to bet on Miami, but someone I trust was on Miami, so I tailed him. It cashed easily. So maybe we give Florida a pass here. And the big thing is that, this guy, Graham Mertz, I kind of, he's in concussion protocol. And the guy who might replace him, freshman DJ Lagway, 5-star guy, has some ability to put up points. And, if he's starting, I like him. Texas A&M, a good team, but the loss to Notre Dame, maybe a little bit unimpressive. It looks like Texas A&M offensively doesn't have what Miami had that burned Florida. And I really don't understand why Florida is this big of a dog. What do you think, Dabby?
This game, for a game that does not matter that much in the landscape of college football, it carries a ton of weight for both of these programs, right? And by weight, what I mean is, I kind of look at Florida as A&M, but a year behind, right? And what I mean when I say that is, Jimbo had to go. We got Elko in for A&M. Napier's got to go at Florida. I'm on the boat. It's time for him to go. And, the first question of this game, you said it, who's going to be at QB? Is it going to be Mertz or is it going to be Langway, the freshman? I mean, for me, that's an easy answer. You go with the freshman. You go with the 5-star recruit. But if you've paid attention to Billy Napier, I'm not so sure that's an easy answer. I mean, this dude makes decisions that are beyond me. So I don't know what he does. I mean, I think that they go with the freshman. And I watched his first game against Stanford. I slowed it down. He throws a beautiful ball. I mean, just a beautiful ball. He's able to get up in the pocket. But when I say that he didn't have a defender within 15 yards of him, there was zero pressure. He did not have to work through any progressions when he was looking down the field. There were multiple receivers that were open. And I'm telling you, when a quarterback gets to throw to the first option, a lot of people can look like superstars. I think the kid is great. I think the kid is great, okay? But I'm talking about quantifying competition here. And we're going to have a real quick, I know I can't go too long because we make these cutouts, but we're going to have a real quick discussion on something I find interesting on quantifying competition versus transitional losses and wins. Okay. So you look at this A&M team, right? They played a good game against Notre Dame. They kept their defense on the field too long. At the end of the game, they got beat because of that. Notre Dame put up points. And then Notre Dame turns around and loses the next game to Northern Illinois. Okay. So does that mean Northern Illinois would beat A&M? No. And that's what I mean when I say wins and losses are not transitional. Okay. It's all about quantifying competition and keeping it like within a realistic realm when we're talking in college football right here. Now Langway did lead a drive against Miami for a touchdown. So I really do think he is that guy, but I think this game is won in the trenches. And I went back to A&M right when the line came out at 3.5, because I told myself if I could get under 4, I would bet it. I got under 4. Oh. Now this line sits at 4.5 and we're at an impasse. So my recommendation for anybody who just likes to blindly tail, if you're tailing me, buy that line down to 4, because what I had written down coming into this game is if I get under 4, I bet A&M. I got a 3.5. It almost disappeared instantly. Okay, Pete. So I am on A&M. The questions in this game, there's 2 questions. How bad is Florida's defense and how bad is A&M's offense, right? We know A&M's defense can play. Connor Wigman is the real question mark here. He's still, to me, I don't know if he's that guy, and I really don't think he is. But I think against this Florida defense, kind of like I was talking about, Samford's defense not going to. I think against this Florida defense, Wigman can look like the guy for a little bit. And I think he'll confuse some people one more time and make them think that he's good. And I also think A&M's defense, especially their front line, is going to get enough pressure on Langway to where this freshman's going to be in a situation that he's never been in before. And I think it's just a different game with different consequences. I think Florida loses this football game, and I think Billy Napier either gets fired or should get fired. He's on his way out. Let's go ahead and get him out. Let's gut this program. And that's where I'm at.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, it is true that coaches and management can fuck up anything. You know what I mean? And that seems like, there's some nice parts of Florida with a reasonable coaching staff and management situation. They might be a good bet here, but that one way or another, they'll find a way to mess it up. That's a great analysis, Dabby Cab. All right. I was thinking Florida's a good bet. I was thinking maybe that's the way you go, but Dabby Cab, like in Texas A&M, beat the move. And now let's move on to Ole Miss and Wake Forest, right? Ole Miss, of course, 2 cupcakes, blew them out. Ranked team, huge favorite here at Wake Forest. The question is just how competitive is Wake Forest likely to be? Let me see. The line I was seeing was 23.5. Is that what you're seeing right now, Dabby? Where are we?
Yeah, I think that's what it should be at. This one's moved also. Shout out to our guy Kong's Clips. He's come on both of the tailgates on Saturday and done a really good job. He tweeted him out at 23.5. So I think that this line's been moving. Let me pull it up real quick.
All right. So Wake Forest, Ole Miss played 2 cupcakes, blew them out. Wake Forest played 2 games very close to their spreads. They were ahead on Virginia, outgained them, but let Virginia back in, and then Virginia won. Ole Miss, obviously the far superior team, but, Wake Forest has a nice veteran quarterback, right? Hank Bachmeier. And maybe he can keep them in it for a half or so. Although, these Lane Kiffin teams a lot of times lay the hammer down on teams that they outclass, and sometimes that's early. So wouldn't at all be surprised if this is like 37-3 at the half, Ole Miss. I don't really know. This is a pass for me. Free play, I still don't know what I would do. It's an interesting situation. I haven't looked into the rosters deep enough to know the likelihood of Wake Forest being able to keep it close first half and full game. I guess ultimately Ole Miss will run away with it at the end. What's your take on this one, Dabby Cap?
Okay. Ole Miss, and shout out to my guy Weinstein out there in the chat. They're one of the only futures. I don't know why I said one of the only. They're the only future I made in college football. I took them over 9.5 wins. I know Weinstein took them also. That's why I was shouting him out. I'm pretty sure Jimmy took them. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think Jimmy took it also. I'm very high on this Ole Miss team. I was coming into the season. I think their offense, is arguably the best, if not one of the best in college football this year. Jackson Dart, even though I can't stand the eye paint that guy puts on his face, he's been able to do whatever he wants, albeit against lesser competition. He's been able to do anything he wants. And I don't think Wake Forest is that big of a step up in defense compared to the competition he has played. I watched that Wake Forest and Virginia game pretty closely. And, Virginia didn't have much trouble moving the football against Wake Forest, and they look slow. Their defense just looks slow, if I'm being honest. Like, that's my main takeaway from it. I think they're going to look like they're stuck in the mud against Ole Miss. Like, honestly, I think slow is going to be an understatement for what Wake Forest looks like against Ole Miss. You got people like Henry Paris Jr. coming out of the backfield, and he's just going to eat. And the more he eats, the more the field's going to open up for Jackson Dart. There is no question in my mind that Ole Miss offensively is going to be able to do whatever they want this game. My question for this game, though, is Ole Miss's defense, right? I actually do trust Hank Bachmeier a little bit, the quarterback at Wake Forest, Bachmeier, if I say his name right, Bachmeier, however you say it. He's that transfer from Boise State. He's not bad. He's functionable as a QB. I think Wake Forest is going to be able to score a little bit. I don't think they're going to, keep this game close by any means. But I think this is the first time Ole Miss's defense is going to get tested at all. So I think that Wake Forest is going to be able to put points on the board. So the way I sum this game up here, Pete, when I look at it, I have a couple things. I know that Ole Miss is going to have a field day against this Wake Forest defense, right? I know that Wake Forest and Bachmeier are capable of putting points on the board. I've seen it. They put up 30 against Virginia, right? They can score. I think they can score here against Ole Miss. I don't know exactly what I'm going to get out of Ole Miss's defense. But I do know that Lane Kiffin is going to try and score 3 touchdowns for every touchdown that's scored against him. Okay. Yeah. You got to understand how this guy plays football. He is balls to the wall, all gas, no breaks. He's trying to put on as many points as he can, which is another reason why his defense is going to be on the field longer. And the longer you keep a defense on a field when you're winning a football game, the more shots Wake Forest is going to take. I think we see points. And even though this total is outrageous, I'm on the over, Pete. I took the over in this game. I think we see points both ways. I think you can still get 63s out there. I was looking before we got here. I'm on 63. This is another one. If you got to take a minus 150, minus 115 to get the 63, do it, because I'll be damned if I'm going to lose 42-21 on a 63.5. Like, I refuse to do that. So play the 63 and take the over. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta when there's big spreads like these, you have to use the coach dickhead factor in your capping. And like Urban Meyer, Lane Kiffin, those are the coaches who like lay the hammer down on outclassed opponents. Alabama doesn't really do that. Yeah, that might be a no-brainer play here. Ole Miss minus 23.5. That's your liking, right?
Yeah, I would definitely lean Ole Miss. If I was playing a side, it would be Ole Miss. But I think Ole Miss puts up 40 plus easy, maybe in the 50s. And I think Wake Forest scores. I think we get, 2-3 touchdowns at Wake Forest. So I think we get to that 63.
Pinnacle, the Ole Miss team total is 43.5. Wake Forest is 20.5 or 20 market wide.
That 42-21 feels about right when I said that score. That's why I think that 63 is important. Because like I said, I'll be damned if I lose an over when it's 42-21 and I have 63.5. It's just not going to happen. So 63, over 63. That's the key number for me.
And everyone in the comments section seeming to agree with you. Nutflush Allen, people talking about, here you go, Nutflush 16. I'm telling you, Ole Miss will continue to try to score until the clock goes to 0. You might have a great play there, Dabby Cab, over in Ole Miss, Wake Forest. Thanks so much, Dabby. We'll talk to you next week.
Hell yeah, Pete. I love doing this with you, man.
All right. Man, now I got to think what I want to tail. Take that a friggin' over. Maybe I'll take Ole Miss as well. Maybe live bet them if it's like 7-7 in the middle of the first quarter or something like that. All right. We had a great show today. I have a bunch of, normally I feel a little bit uncomfortable about my MLB card in general. This one I feel pretty good about. Maybe that's not a good sign. I got a lot of strikeout props over small numbers. We'll see how it all turns out. Jose Bouquett, are you there?
Yeah, slow, Pete.
Hey. All right. So what's going on this week? We got the Cappers contest continuing, Survivor continuing, right, Jose? Everything's going well.
Yeah, how'd you do first week, Pete?
Terrible. Like a lot of people. I went 1-3-1, although I survived. I didn't take that's the only thing I did right. I thought Tennessee was a good bet. They were not. I thought the Falcons were a good bet. They had a bunch of interceptions, so maybe you can make the argument that I was on the right side there. I late took Washington, which was terrible. That was terrible. That I knew that was a bad thing to do. That was just tailing people I trusted. I knew Carolina wasn't a sure thing bet, but I definitely didn't take New Orleans. In general, not a good week for me, but that's okay. I did great on totals, and looking forward to week 2.
All right, well, beautiful. Yeah, we have the Cappers contest, week 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cappers contest show as well. 2 perfect week this week. So shout out to them. They get the $75 bonus there from Harbor Acres Cottages. So shout out to them. They get to split that. So tune into the Cappers contest show. We went 3-2 on our circuit card there as well. So not too bad. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Jimmy got eliminated from Survivor, made a whole lot of money on the Patriots. But I am going to make fun of him for getting eliminated in week 1. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That happened to me. I got eliminated taking the Bengals in week 1 year. Didn't happen again, though. It's going to be fun now. We still got a lot of people. It's interesting. I looked at all the survivors, the few survivor pools I'm in. It looks like about 40 to 45% of the pools got eliminated in week 1. So there's still like 55 to 60% of the pools left, which actually, when you think about it, after week 1 is a huge number, really.
Well, Pete, let's pray that it gets down quickly, because I'd like to be in the end of that. It'd be fun.
Fun as hell.
Nice.
The question is Baltimore sucker play exhibit B this week? Who knows? That's what we have to figure out for ourselves, right? Figure out for ourselves. If you don't take Baltimore, who are you going to take? I don't know. Maybe the Jags? I don't know.
It's going to be a fun week, Pete.
Going to be a fun week. We'll be on Pub Sports Radio all week, and I'll see you all again next Tuesday. Thanks so much in the comment section, everyone.